are live.
And we're live.
Well, because this is how we are taught. We're always talking about FJs.
Well, we're not always. We're
No,
not.
no, we're
but,
not.
we are. But we are talking about it now because there is a beautiful FJ that's right now being auctioned off, and we're talking about fantasies. The thing is, I can't buy it right now because I just bought my daughter a car, and
You have your Pathfinder. You have something else.
Something else. I'm gonna get a project car, but it has to be one that's something else. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't get it.
So guys, welcome to our TFLbids.com live show. So TFLbids.com, you can monitor these auctions, vehicles for sale right now. And 3 of the auctions are ending in about 30 minutes, approximately?
Yeah, 29 minutes right now, according to that's like the quickest one, 28 minutes.
Yeah, and also, this is interactive, so ask us questions about the auctions or not about the auctions, anything automotive, right?
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Keep it clean.
Thank you for joining us. There's already Lance, DJ Underwood, Jake, Pernell. Thank you for joining us.
We appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
So right now, the ones that we're looking at, there is a 2004 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited LJ. Now, some of these vehicles I actually got a chance to actually physically be near, and I did some intros on these vehicles and did walkarounds. And so there's this one. There's a 1973 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40 convertible in really good condition.
Yeah.
There's a 2014 Ford F-150 SVT Raptor. This is the one with it's V8.
Yeah,
so
6.2.
Yeah, so it's got the grunt.
And if we're not careful, Roman may bid on this.
Yeah, I know. Roman and his Raptors, right? There's a 1967 Chevrolet C10 pickup. So this is one of those vehicles that has real charm to it. It's good looking.
Yeah.
And a recent entry is a 2015 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon, and it has the Ursa Minor camper hooked up to it as well.
That's spectacular, dude.
Yeah.
Overlanders are big these days, and finding one in this condition, I think is very, very rare.
Yeah, it looks really cool. That auction ends in 37 minutes, and then finally amongst these...
in 1 week and 37 minutes.
1 week and 37 minutes.
Yes.
I didn't see the 1W on it.
So we'll do those next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
But this one is ending soon. Oh no, this one is also ending in 1 week. And and that is
so we got 3 auctions ending today.
Yeah.
Right now.
And 3 auctions ending next week.
A week from now. Yeah.
Right. The last one on this is the 1961 Chevrolet Apache 10 pickup truck. This one also has a straight 6 and I believe a manual transmission. And yeah, this one is an older restored model. It's a very interesting variety of vehicles that we have here. I mean, considering.
Yeah. And I mean, TFLbids is really meant for, truck people, guys and gals, and off-road SUV guys and gals. Because, this is kind of, what we do. We love those vehicles.
It's our bread and butter.
Yeah, and we wanted to bring the community together, right? So this is where it's at.
Right. So you want to talk about the 3 that are about to end? Because all 3 of these are pretty interesting.
Yeah, and actually, so all 3 of them, so first of all, the Jeep LJ, the 2004 reserve has been met. So it's selling. The FJ40 and the Ford SVT Raptor reserves have not been quite met, but
not quite.
I think they're getting close.
They're pretty close,
Yeah.
and a lot of people tend to bid at the last possible minute.
Right.
I totally get that. So the LJ Unlimited is interesting. It's the first of the Unlimited series, if you think about it. What they initially did was they stretched a Jeep, right?
Yeah.
And later on they added 4 doors, but this is, before all that, these are kind of rare because a lot of people like the extra rear legroom that you get. And this one, now that I recall, has a very good top. So the top was recently redone, and it has a winch.
And bumpers.
A whole bunch of extra stuff with bumpers and sliders.
I watched you actually started it. I mean, you were there with this Jeep.
Yeah, exactly.
It has like a customized exhaust system, wheels and tires. I mean, really good stuff. LED lights, additional lights.
One of the things that Jeeps desperately need are better lights, and this one actually addresses that issue.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the interior is not too bad. I mean,
no,
it
wasn't too bad at all. The interior was in good condition. It was slightly worn. But there are a couple of tasteful mods throughout the vehicle. Altogether, the way they set it up was to be a driver that can definitely go off-road.
Yeah, and the 4-liter straight 6.
Which some people
how can you
absolutely
go
love.
wrong?
Yeah.
Right? Yes. So that Jeep is, hitting the block and already, will sell. Reserve has been met.
Yeah, so yeah, that's definitely one that's going. I really like that one. But I mean, come on.
So Joey Cusick is asking, what does Tommy drive now?
Tommy drives 19 different vehicles.
Actually, he's on a trip right now, so he's not around.
He's actually at a rave. Right
Rave?
now. Yeah. Well,
is he dancing?
Well, yeah. He got a full body tat. It's a gangster tat.
No.
With teardrops, and now he's at a rave dancing.
Okay.
Oh no, he's in Florida.
So he is dancing.
Same thing.
Okay. He's visiting family. But what does he drive now? Well, he has a classic Mini.
Yep.
Right.
Little tiny Mini.
He's got the Touareg, some of the other vehicles. He has a project 1965 F100 Ford.
Yeah, he's also got a Mercedes.
He has Mercedes diesel that he has, and he hasn't brought it out in a while.
Probably because he blew it up. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, Tommy, if you're watching. We know you didn't blow it up yet. So there's, what else is he driving? Oh, he's got a motorcycle too.
Yeah. A little monkey.
Yeah, he's got the monkey. That's Tommy's hog. What is the displacement on that thing?
I don't know. It's like 125 or something.
125? Yeah, that sounds right.
I want to see Tommy more on his little Honda
monkey. Well, they
monkey.
actually took it to Moab.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they did a little bit of off-roading with it. And then they stopped when they came to a large stream that was, 6 inches deep.
So one more question from David Lusk, really quick.
Yeah, go for
David
it.
says, I love seeing the live shows. Thank you for joining.
Thanks,
by the
man.
way. And he says you need to do more camper corner videos.
We haven't done those in a while.
Yes.
Honestly, it's a lot easier to do in spring and summertime.
Yes.
I got to tell you, I thought about doing that. I recently brought my pop-up trailer, which I've slightly modified and updated, to Moab, Utah. And I thought, yeah, it'd be a great idea to do another camper corner.
Oh, yeah. Where is that?
So here's what happened. I was starting to set up my phone. I thought I'd just use my phone and do it. And the winds were kicking up, and my trailer started moving
Wait,
on
what?
its own. It was high winds.
Okay.
Yeah,
but it's a small trailer, low profile.
It's not that low profile when you have everything open.
Oh.
Everything was open, and it was parked at the campsite. High winds kicked in, and it started to move. And I had everything set up so it wouldn't move. And so if you would have seen that video, I was freaking out trying to figure out a way to stop. It only moved 6 inches, but in my mind, it was like, oh my God, it moved so far. So I actually went and took a bicycle long chain and chained it near the end of my stay to a post to make sure it wouldn't blow away. Now, granted, the winds weren't that bad the next day, but man, that was rough. So I didn't do the camper corner then. However, now that it's warmer temperatures, we're going to be able to do camper corner in the near future, right?
Yes, absolutely. I have actually one lined up, kind of.
Oh, yeah?
But as you know, we're in Colorado, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of motorhomes and campers and trailers are stored away in places.
Right, and so now is when they start coming out.
Yeah, so now I have a friend who lives nearby where I live, and he's got a really cool Ram 5500 diesel chassis motorhome with four-wheel drive.
Ooh.
Yeah, so stay tuned. In a couple of weeks, I'm asking him, bring it out. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, take it out of storage. So that's coming very soon, and hopefully more, right?
Yeah.
So, we should talk about the second vehicle while we also answer some questions. So you want to kind of discuss the FJ40 real quick?
FJ40. So this thing is absolutely beautiful. First of all, stock looking throughout.
Everything, yeah.
But a lot of updates. So this is a 1973 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40 convertible. The top, the interior, almost all the components on the exterior, a lot of the underside components, the engine, the tires, all of that have been recently restored or are in extremely good condition. I wouldn't say it's museum quality, but I would say that it is an excellent quality. So you're just a couple levels below museum quality.
Is
right?
it Concours quality?
I wouldn't put it
Pebble
on
Beach?
No, Pebble Beach.
Okay.
They don't have a good taste.
No,
to
but
put
you know
these types
this
of
is better
vehicles
than
up.
that.
In many ways, it is.
Because it means it's usable. You can
Yes,
actually drive
exactly.
it.
You can
Instead
drive
of
it.
parking it in the museum,
Yeah,
you
I
can
drove
actually
it.
use it.
Yeah, I actually got a chance to drive it a little bit.
No way.
Yeah, it's it's typical. You don't even bother with the first gear. But the thing is that it does have a couple upgrades that make it drive a little bit better. And then it has an interior that with the new covers and everything else on the seats feels quite good. It's a great vehicle to look at the past, and yet it drives just good enough to go on the streets every day. Really, really impressive stuff.
I mean, it is classic. That's why the value is so high.
Right.
Right now, it's at about $31,000 on this auction. Once again, auctions end in about, what, 20 minutes approximately?
Yeah, give or take. And
Yeah.
and the thing is that if you guys look at some of the pictures that you're going to see here, for instance, the interior in general, you're going to notice that it doesn't have a lot going on. And this is what they looked like when they originally came out. There wasn't a whole lot of, speakers and radios and everything else. You had a couple buttons, a couple switches, a couple gauges, and that was it. Very simple setup. So what they did was the former owner updated these with modern components or refreshed components to keep it as new and as fresh as possible. And so as you can see, the thing looks like it rolled off the showroom floor from 1970s.
Yeah. So I have a couple more questions here in the chat room
Yeah, go for it.
before we move on. So Gabriel says it would be really cool to find out more information about the new Toyota platforms, 4Runner and Tundra. Yeah, it would.
Wouldn't that be great? I mean, we've been trying. You have to understand that even when we go home, when we're not in the office, we're constantly combing the internet and talking to our friends.
Because
and
it's highly
insiders.
anticipated.
Exactly. So this is what
So we don't
know.
We don't know officially.
No, well, officially, but
Yeah.
unofficially, they're moving up to new platforms. We know that's happening eventually.
TNGA-F.
-F or
Yes.
F Alpha. Some people say.
Yeah, it's basically a frame-based vehicle still. The Tacoma, the Tundra, the 4Runner, and the Sequoia.
Yeah, they're all going to run on
Yeah.
the same modular system that's going to expand or contract based on what you need.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we hear. But that has not been officially confirmed, has it?
No, and we're still waiting, so hopefully we're close. We know the Tundra is coming first, so stay
Right.
tuned.
So once the Tundra comes out, which will be really soon, but we've been saying that for 2 years, once the Tundra comes
yes.
out, then we should have a pretty good idea of at least what to expect with the next batch of vehicles.
But on TFL Talk channel, our podcast channel, there is actually a brand new video and podcast today where I talked to David Chow, one of the engineers who is in the industry, about the Land Cruiser and some of the other aspects of it.
Have we talked to him before?
Yes, we have.
Yes.
So stay, watch that also. A Ford Mustang fanboy says, how come you don't purchase some other test vehicles for long term like the Mustang or the Camaro or the Corvette?
Very simple, an excellent question, and we wish we could, but how do those cars drive in snow? We get snow around Colorado, about 5 or 6 months out of the year, so it's very difficult to test those vehicles except for very narrow times. And we discovered that when we used to have a Dodge Challenger Hellcat. We had one of the very first, and it was a beautiful car.
We kept it for almost 2 years, a long time.
But we couldn't test it that often. One of the problems, first of all, a lot of people who watch our channels tend to watch because we do a lot of truck and off-roady stuff, but also with those cars, they have to come during a certain amount of time. If we had a Boss 302 and it was snowing outside, we could not take it to the track. We could not really do instrument testing with it. We couldn't really do much other than get it sideways on a road, which looks cool on video, but it's kind of useless. So that's one of the reasons, right?
And also a limited budget.
Yeah,
You don't have infinite money.
I mean, it looks like we have more than we actually have with these trucks that we bought, right? But remember, we turn those around and sell them. Now, here's the question for you. How many Ford F-150s have been sold versus how many Ford Mustangs have been sold?
Gajillions.
Gajillions of Ford F-150s over a few Ford Mustangs. I want to get a Mustang. I'd love to get the one with the small EcoBoost engine and see what we could do with it. But the reality is, at least right now, we're not quite large enough to really have a car that we can only drive for a limited amount of time during the year.
And make videos with it.
And make proper videos.
Because that's where it's at. We need to make videos to justify the purchase, right?
Right.
So,
but that could change in the future. We are talking about some future plans that could change that. But that you'll have to wait for.
well, speaking of F-150s, we got to look at this Raptor, right?
Yeah, let's move on to the Raptor.
So the Raptor, this auction is ending also in about, 15 minutes. And this is a nice one because it has a lot of factory options. It's got the beadlock capable wheels, SVT. The paint looks pretty good throughout. The condition
tires
is
were in
great.
great condition.
Yeah, you were with this truck also.
This is another one that I was hanging around with, and I got a chance to slither around. The interior is the higher end one, so it has a unique trim to it. It has lots of it's got those cool little switches and all the switch gear. It's got all the instrumentation from that year on the upper level, so this is not like a base level truck. And then on top of that, it's got the big beefy engine. And
I wanted to ask you about
Yes,
this.
please.
Well, first of all, it's under 40,000 miles, which is pretty low mileage.
it's
for this
extremely
truck.
low mileage.
Yes, and also it has airbag helpers in the back for towing. And
Right.
I wanted to do something like that with our old SVT Raptor.
Yeah.
But of course, time and money, whatever, it didn't happen.
Roman doesn't like airbags.
Yeah, I heard that.
I heard
yes.
that. So here's the thing about that. We actually towed a lot with that old Raptor.
Cross country.
Cross country, more
Yes,
than once.
yes.
We actually towed. Emmy used to work with us, Emmy Hall, who right now is racing in Mexico in an ID4.
I know. What's up with that?
Isn't that awesome? With Tanner Faust.
I know.
Anyway, Emmy had left her Miata here in Colorado. We had to drive it out to Washington, D.C. in order for her to get it. So we were in the trailer. We towed it with the Raptor, and I drove a lot of that. And I remember how weird it was in a Raptor, which is flying down the highway, has no problem towing a light Miata on a trailer. And I look in the rearview mirror, and there's this Miata that's just kind of hovering right behind me, and you lose yourself for a second. And the reason we did that was because we dropped it off and then went and picked up a Tatra 603. And so if you guys ever watched, we did an old series years and years ago called Prague to Pebble.
Yeah, with the Tatra.
With the Tatra 603.
Yeah.
So the support vehicle was that Raptor, which is very similar to this Raptor.
Still crew cab, same engine. Yeah, and we had our Raptor for almost 60,000 miles, and this was 3 years ago or more.
More than that. It's like 5 years ago, Andre.
Well, we sold it in 2017-ish. I guess 4 years ago. So
4 years. There you go.
anyway, it's a really good truck, and look at these values. I mean, they're still holding their value very, very well.
And they should be. And this one has
yeah.
very low. It's well under. Normally your average mileage is between 12 and 15,000 miles per year, right? That's according to insurance companies and whatnot. This one's well under that, considering
So
the
it
fact.
probably was like a second vehicle for somebody or
Yeah.
something like that. Maybe they didn't use it all the time.
Now, because I was curious about this truck, I actually looked around underneath it and everything, and the underside
Yes.
is absolutely immaculate, and there's not as much rust as there is on Andre's truck, which is brand new.
But my truck is brand new.
I know.
Oh.
So anyway,
Okay.
but if you look at the features and everything else, this thing is completely loaded. Are there any other questions, by the way? Well,
We have a few, yeah.
Oh, let's go for it.
So here's one from Gabriel again. How do you guys find navigating with COVID impacting your ability to review and visit manufacturer facilities?
That's
Well,
a
it's
really
act-
excellent question.
Yeah, it's opening up a little bit.
Yeah, but
A tiny
in the
bit.
past, we were super careful. So what we did was Tommy and Roman lived together, obviously. So they were able to travel together to certain places. So we were able to do a little tiny bit of traveling. And then progressively, Andre would go to some places, and even I went to a couple places. Now that almost all of us are fully inoculated, we're good with
Yeah,
doing
my
a little
second
bit.
shot is this week.
And I already had both of my shots. And the good thing is, only all of my hair fell out. So you're gonna look like me when you're done. It's fine. Are you Pfizer?
No.
Oh, that's even better. You lose more hair than that. So the thing is that in reality, what we had to do was kind of divide and conquer. Now Zach and Roman got together and made sure that our space was really safe here. So we only had a few people at a time. And for the first year of COVID, we did almost everything using Zoom, and we actually tried some other stuff. That didn't work so well.
Well, we started a podcast, whole channel
Yep.
a year ago, partially because of this.
That's correct. And actually that's moved in the right
and
direction.
now it's growing huge, thanks to you guys.
Yeah, thanks to you guys. So that podcast thing, the whole idea behind that was generated because of COVID. So between that and then having our office and just staying apart, we've made it work. And a lot of automakers have worked with us, and they've dropped off pretty new models, very, very new models in some cases, directly to us, which works for everybody because honestly speaking, these press events aren't exactly cheap to fly us out to. And we're fine with just driving the car. That's all we want to do anyway. Half the people who go to these things just want a free meal, right?
Yeah.
TFL, we work hard, so we do as many videos as we can with the vehicle we get. And so we made it work fairly well. And I think that despite what's been going on, we did well.
I think so. I think when the going gets tough, I mean, the tough get going. And
Yeah.
I think we used everything available to us.
You know, our
so.
first 6 months of the whole COVID thing over a year ago, we actually upped the amount of videos we were producing.
Remember, we were doing Zoom calls with Mr. Truck and like interviewing engineers.
Yeah.
that was something.
That was something, but we kind of made it work. We also did some stuff from home and whatever we could do to make it work.
Joey says, "Did you sell the Audi TT?" Remember, Roman purchased that Audi.
Yeah, he
Yes.
likes convertibles. You know, that's a good question. Did he sell it?
Yeah, I believe we did.
Okay.
Yes. Sometimes I lose track of Roman's convertibles.
I know.
I'm sorry. Okay. So let's look at the auctions. Are we getting some action?
Let's see here. We're still, so the, I'm going to refresh this page here. So it looks like the Jeep LJ is at 15.1.
Yep.
The
FJ40,
Toyota,
31.
and the F-150 is at 44. And the other three vehicles, they still have a week left in them, so there's no reason really.
Yeah, they actually just came online this morning, the other three vehicles. So what we're trying to do right now is kind of almost like 3 auctions a week.
Right.
While we're building up the traffic, right?
Right. And the thing is that, TFLbids went from just a couple vehicles, now we've got a couple dozen vehicles, and we're definitely building upwards. And it seems to be working pretty good.
So if you look for next week coming up, like you mentioned, we have this 2015 Jeep Wrangler JK Unlimited 4-door.
Yeah, now you know something about this thing.
Yes, well, both of us know something about this. Because we've driven one of these, not this one, but a very similar one across country through all 50 states.
Yeah, so we did Motor Mountain USA 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
About 5 years ago or more.
No, it was like 7 years ago. It was a while ago because it was before I moved.
It was 2015.
2015, wow, 6 years ago. And all of us, the whole gang, got together with this very same vehicle.
It was red.
It was red.
Not
like
this one.
Not this very vehicle, but a very similar one. And we drove it to 49 of the 50 states.
Yes.
It towed for almost 25 of those states, I think 23 states.
A small trailer, which
a small trailer, which wasn't a great trailer, but it looked really cool. And yeah, we went to the highest drivable point in each state, and so it was called Motor Mountain USA, and we did 51 episodes.
Yes, but I wish we had this Jeep because it has a really cool tent system, easy to set up, easy to open, very high quality. I looked up how much these tents are. Yeah, they're pricey.
Yeah, I bet they
are. They started around, well, this is not a tent, it's kind of like a clamshell.
It's a clamshell thing, so it's a roof thing, but it's integrated into the vehicle.
It's completely integrated into that top, basically, of this Jeep. These are pretty pricey. They start at about $7,500 just for that roof system. And this Jeep has a small lift, about 2 inches, not something crazy. Good wheels and tires. It's a Rubicon, so it's very capable. And it's out of Oregon. So yeah, this Jeep only has 38,000 miles. So stay tuned. This week, it's here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
talk about a good overlanding setup, right?
Yeah, and dude, overlanding is huge right now. If you look at any SUV or any truck, they're not on dealer lots. Dealers are almost out of trucks right now.
Yeah,
shortages.
RV sales are up. Regular tent sales are up. Everything is up. Everybody's anticipating getting outdoors and staying outdoors and actually meeting people again. So, which is great. The mood's lifting. And this is one of those vehicles that's a prime example of what you can do with it. I really like. I don't normally like black wheels, but they look really good on this Jeep.
Yeah, it's because it's got it almost has the TFL red and black theme.
I know. I'm tired of the red and black thing.
Well, we're sitting in the red and black.
I know. Half the vehicles we get are either, we don't usually buy black vehicles, primarily because they don't show up very well on video, by the way. It's really the reason why. White vehicles are sort of the same thing. They just don't look quite as good. You can't see the lines very well when you're using video. But we had a bright red Jeep, just like this one.
So there's a question from Jason here. Jason says, cannot wait for the cheap truck challenge. Absolutely. And actually, first episode will be this Sunday.
This Sunday?
Yes. You heard it here first. So we're pretty much ready. We shot 3 episodes. It's really a 4-episode miniseries.
Right.
And 3 are kind of in the bag.
Yep.
2 of them basically edited.
Yep.
So we're going to be rolling them out starting this Sunday.
And we got one more thing going on, which we can't tell you about, but it should be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's over the next 4 weeks. You're going to see those videos, and we have, obviously website, posts, and pictures.
There's going to be lots of stuff following it. This was a really fun series, and one of the things that, this auction kind of shows something as well, that you can get really cool vehicles for less than what you're buying these ridiculously priced new vehicles at, right? So we went to prove that you can get these really inexpensive vehicles basically for the price of a down payment on a new vehicle and modify them and drive the crap out of them. And we did that, and it was pretty fun. I can't tell you anything else. Sorry, guys, you have to wait for the episodes to roll out.
Yeah, so we're getting really close, right? About 5 minutes away from these auctions. And then we have a couple more questions. First of all, Dan Atkinson has joined. Thank you, Dan. Hello.
Howdy.
Miguel says hello from Rhode Island. Hello, Miguel. And also, there was a question here. Let's see. Oh, somebody says, they remember watching Motor Mountain USA. So thank you very much.
That was a lot of work.
Oh, there's a question here. When are you guys going to start doing Dude I Love or Hate My Bike? You know, the bike channel. Alex?
Yeah,
When are we going to do...
we're going to do Dude I Love or Hate My Bike.
If you need bikes, reach out to us. We'll be more
So-
than happy to.
There you go.
So you can send us a couple of emails, first of all. Ask@tfltruck.com or info@tflcar.com. Those are kind of the email aliases that we've had
Hey,
for a while.
you guys don't have your own email?
No.
Are you kidding me? We can't even afford to
No.
get the poor bike guys a thing?
No, they have emails, but people know the Ask channel
Oh, gotcha.
and the info channels.
Yeah, if you guys have a cool motorcycle or motorbike, something interesting and cool that you want to show us, these boys are going to love it. And by the way, it's better that they go on these motorcycles than me. The last one I crashed on, the last one I rode was an electric motorcycle, and it didn't go well. So definitely, Kates and Alex, they would love to check out your bike, motorbike, motorcycle, moped, ATV, ATC, as long as it has two wheels. Or one. Actually, there's...
What about sidecar testing? Ural bike, two-wheel
Oh,
drive.
yeah, the
Ural
two-wheel drive,
yes.
the Russian one?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
What about that?
Oh, can you imagine Alex and Case riding in one of those things, and Alex like going around the corner and then like lifting the wheel, and Case leaning
leaning
out?
Yes.
God, and it wouldn't work because each of them combined don't weigh as much as I do. So they would fly.
And also, speaking of submitting bikes and stuff, you can submit your vehicle for sale on TFLbids.
Absolutely.
So there's a submit button. Right now, there's no fee to submit a vehicle for sale.
Yeah.
So that's really, really enticing. So yeah, let us know. Send us some email, some pictures. We'll work with you. Alex and team and Michael and everybody else will work with you to list your vehicle.
Indeed, we will. And now the Jeep is down to about 2 minutes. And
Ouch.
the Toyota, well, there are people who do last minute. Look, I do this on eBay. Whenever I do a bid thing, I just wait until the last moment and put in my final big bid to win.
Yeah, and also if there's a final bid like within a minute, it can extend a little bit.
Yeah.
So there's like a minute extension.
Sometimes
for the
it'll
auction.
push it up and over. Right.
So yeah, we have to watch this very carefully. I'm really glad the Jeep Unlimited, is finding a new home here. That's very exciting.
It's a really cool Jeep.
Yeah, it is. There's a couple more questions. Do I regret buying an F-150? No, because the question has to do with a heavy-duty truck.
Oh.
Did I really want a heavy-duty truck? No, I did not. I'm really happy right now, other than some surface rust issues.
We like to make fun of him with that, and the fact he got so angry he slammed into a tree on purpose.
What? No, that was not part of it. So yeah, so these auctions are still going. We have a couple more minutes left, I think, on the Ford, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Ford's got 6 minutes and change.
Well, my clock is off.
What's your
Why
clock
is
saying?
my clock is? I'm in the future, I think.
Andre likes tech a lot, which is one of the reasons he bought that F-150 hybrid, because he just loves all the techie goodies on it. So what he did was he bought the thing that had the most tech with the least amount of money for all the other niceties.
I did. It's an XL F-150.
I'm not making fun of you on that. I'm saying the truth. But for some reason, he's now able to make his computer go into the future.
Well, I'm at 501. I'm well into the future right now.
Oh, you're at 50. No kidding. You're 2 minutes in the future.
Yes. So I can tell you the future is bright, guys.
There you go.
Very, very bright.
Are there any other questions?
Hey,
There's
Andre, I've got a question
Yeah.
for you. From John Thompson asking, where's all the Ike Gauntlet videos?
Yeah, Andre.
Yeah, Ajay.
Huh?
Wow. So we had a similar issue this year. So we had a lot of snow. We went to Moab for our cheap truck challenge last week. We got stuck in an ice storm in the mountains. So the weather has made it difficult.
Yeah.
Also, truck availability has made it difficult. I've reached out to basically almost all our manufacturers right now.
Right.
And I'll be doing more of that, obviously. And there's shortages, not a lot of vehicles in the fleet. I really want to get back on the towing game. So.
Well, I would imagine once we start getting back to, they need to add the chips to the trucks to make the trucks so they can come out, so the trucks can come to us.
Yes.
It's not happening right now. one of the reasons why we're not getting those trucks. That's one of the reasons. Also, with everything that's gone on with COVID, everything's kind of slowed down and gotten backed up. So this year, it may take Andre a little bit longer to put this all together. And remember, he's the one who's doing a majority of the logistics, getting these trucks together, begging and pleading to get them to us.
I don't beg.
And then on top of that, having to get the right trailer for the truck and the right load and everything sourced out.
One, yeah.
That's a lot. I mean, look, I'm giving you a lot of credit here.
Thank you very much.
It's a ton of work, which I refuse to do. So Andre's taking that, and he's been doing it for years. And this is the toughest year so far because we're simply not getting those vehicles. Now, the good news is I'm hoping to take a brand new Ford F-150 hybrid up and over the hill and drive it myself and do whatever I want with it while I drive it. Finding ways of removing rust, by the way, as I drive it with maximum load. So I think I know where to find one.
There you go. There's a question if I'm going to get a big rig Western Star semi. I really want to, but I don't think I have enough money. But you know what? I do have my CDL now. If semi-truck manufacturers want to send us semis for testing, let's talk. For the Ike? For the Ike, right?
You can put a Peterbilt on the Ike?
Heck yeah.
What are we going to tow with it?
I don't care what we tow. We can tow a house.
To whatever we want.
So that could be open for discussion.
Yeah. But primarily we still are dealing with trucks that regular consumers can buy because that's the majority of our viewers. We will be getting them too. This is not that we're not getting them. It's just that it's taking a lot longer than we normally would.
How's being in the past, by the way?
Being in the past is showing that, well, so far we've got 2 auctions that have closed. And one that's 3 minutes and 20 seconds away from closing.
So the FJ40 auction is over, as far as we can tell.
Yep.
And then the Ford has a couple more minutes.
Yep.
There are a few magical minutes tacked onto that one if you want to sneak in a last-minute bid on that Raptor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead if you want to sneak in.
I would recommend getting that Raptor, man. That thing has super low mileage.
It's also V8. You don't have to wait until a year from now for the new V8 Raptor to come out.
It has less than half the mileage that it should have.
Yeah, and it's a solid truck.
Yeah,
right
well,
there.
I remember driving it. The guy who showed us the truck put me in it and had me start it and drive it around. You know, it was just...
Did you have memories just flooding back?
Well, that's exactly it. I was sitting there just like hitting the accelerator and remembering how cool the exhaust note was on the blue one that we had. It's interesting. I know that the new ones with the EcoBoost are more powerful and better because, more power, lighter. But that old big V8, it's just so nostalgic and it just sounded so damn good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's another question. Are we going to take our TRX to the drag strip, like a proper drag strip? That could be in the cards, depending.
Yeah, now that the sun has finally come out.
I think this week our local drag strip is actually opening, but it's supposed to snow or in the rain. So I'm not sure.
It's 80 degrees outside right now, man.
Maybe next week.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing about Denver, or the Colorado area in general, is that the weather can change in less than 12 hours, completely change, which is something I've been getting used to, and I've been here 20 years. The thing about the TRX, we did recently run some races with it too. And so you're going to find those in what, TFL truck?
Dude, we went to IMI Motorsports, which is our test track.
Yeah.
And we've did countless, I can't even count how many
Yeah, but
drag
we just
races.
did a recent one.
Yes, that's coming tomorrow.
That's what I was trying to say.
So, I'm sorry. I'm trying to watch the pricing and the questions.
You can do 19 things at once, Andre.
So tomorrow we have a video coming on TFL Truck. Please stay tuned for that on TFL Truck channel. It's Godzilla versus T-Rex.
And we're going to let you try to figure out what that means. I'm sure a lot of you will already figure it out.
So that was a really fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And taking the T-Rex to the track makes total sense. I want to put slicks on it and see what happens, but I don't think we can afford them. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah. So a couple more. I think we can do a lightning round of questions because the auctions have, I believe, closed.
Yeah, I've got 49 seconds on the F-150.
Oh, so it's not closed. Okay, so we'll wait 49 seconds, and then there's a few more questions that piled up that we can answer.
There were a couple comments that came up, Andre, about semi-Ike.
Yes, I'm sure a couple comments.
They want to call it semi-Ike.
No, big rig Ike. No, it's
Semi-Ike.
not semi. It's not semi. It's full on. I'm not promising a semi-Ike right now, but I'm saying we can discuss if manufacturers wanted to bring trucks here, because I know they test up here. You've seen some of those
Of course,
prototypes.
yeah.
Yeah. They usually carry, those dividers, concrete dividing blocks.
Yeah.
But we can come up with better stuff than that.
Yes, we can. Hell, we've done military vehicles.
Yes. Half tracks.
Yes. Agriculture stuff, you name it. So we've done plenty. Maybe we can find something new and heavy that we can buy and shove it on the back of something. Maybe that Ford F100.
That should be on my office door. We can find something big and heavy and tow it.
You have no idea how hard it is sometimes to find these things to make up the right weight. So it's difficult stuff. And it looks like we are done. Right, Zach?
With this week's auctions, that's correct.
This week's auctions
Thank you.
are done. Thank you guys for bidding. If you haven't bid, go and see what's available. There's lots of other trucks on the site.
And if you have an off-road SUV, it can be nice one, any brand, or a pickup truck. Once again, could be off-road, but could maybe a Ford Lightning,
Chevy SS,
SRT10 Ram.
Ooh, yeah, that could be interesting.
So let us know. Submit a vehicle for sale as well. We kind of want to keep it trucky, though. Keep it trucky.
It would be great if we could, but if you guys are desperate, we can throw a car up there, I guess. Let's look at the remaining of the questions. You said you wanted to do a lightning round before we close out.
There's a couple of questions. Aiden says, do you guys think the Land Cruiser will come back in the coming years?
Recently, there's a TFL truck story, am I correct about that? Where we caught some interesting images of what looks like the next Land Cruiser. Whether or not it's coming here is debatable. I suspect that at least with Lexus it will, but in terms of an actual Toyota thing, I don't know. They said they might replace it with something else. So that's the best I can do.
We answered the TRX question. Well, officially Toyota said that Land Cruiser is gone.
It's gone, but they said that
but will live on in spirit.
Right,
So we will have to see. So when is TFL going to buy a Jeep again? So Roman on the last show we did said that he misses a Jeep.
He does indeed.
Yeah,
but what we need to do is we're going to wrap this up, guys, and say thank you and join us next week for more bidding. We got to get going. Sorry,
Yes,
but we'll see you next week.